Hello everyone and welcome to SkillCapped. I'm Notorious Dub and today I'm going to be going over one thing I think we all need to know at this point: how to play around your useless teammates. Now, every few games I think we all get at least one or two people on our team that don't exactly pull their weight, can't seem to get anything going, or just don't play the way you would expect, which makes you perform worse as well. Well, today I'm going to be giving you 3 tips to help you operate effectively with those teammates around you by looking at the self-proclaimed bait master himself, HIKO, and breaking down exactly how he pulls this off and always manages to be a team player, no matter how good his team is around him. But before we get into that, do you find yourself struggling to win gunfights? Are you a bit lost on what you should be doing in game? Or maybe you find yourself stuck at your current rank? Well, don't worry, as our brand new hyper improvement system is specifically designed to solve these problems. At SkillCapped.com, you'll finally learn how to improve your aim, different techniques to win gunfights, and so much more. We have professional courses on every single agent, map, and mechanic in Valorant. This is also backed by top pros, players, and coaches to make sure you're getting the most up-to-date and accurate information possible. In fact, we're so confident that you'll improve using our system that we offer a rank improvement guarantee. Check it out yourself in the link below. Simply put in what rank you're currently stuck at and find out what rank you're guaranteed by using our system. So, what are you waiting for? Unlock your true potential and get the rank you've always wanted at SkillCapped.com. Link is in the description below. Alright, so the first thing I wanted to talk about is the one thing I see so many people get wrong or just not understand altogether, is how to play off of someone's angle. So let's go over this round where we see HIKO talk exactly about this topic. Now, for this entire round, we see HIKO playing off of his teammate and making sure that he's ready to swing whenever the Phoenix flashes out so he can follow up and help the Phoenix finish off kills. But what I really want to take note of is how HIKO directs the Phoenix to play off of him whenever they think the enemies are going to rush heaven, because it gives us direct insight into how HIKO wants to play off of his teammates.
Can you play wide for me?
Now, we distinctly hear HIKO tell his Phoenix to play wide for him because HIKO almost always wants to be a second man in his games, supporting and taking fire after the first contact has been made. But we can break it down a little bit more. Whenever you're playing a character like Raze, you want to have time to throw your utility if you need to. So, playing a wide angle and relying solely on your shot is usually going to be less beneficial than playing an off angle and giving yourself time to use your abilities, which is exactly what we see HIKO do here. When the enemy starts to walk up mailroom stairs into B heaven, HIKO makes sure that his teammate is playing a wider angle than he is, which guarantees that HIKO is going to have time to react to the situation accordingly because the enemy is going to see his Phoenix first. Now, the person playing the second angle is going to be the person that's taking much less risk and needs really good aim to capitalize on baiting your teammate, which makes sense for why HIKO likes this angle, because he has insane aim and is generally going to be better than the person he's playing with. So staying alive while still fighting aim battles is the perfect scenario for HIKO. So whenever I say you need to be playing your teammates off angle, it basically just means that you need to be playing an angle that is easily accessible to get into the gunfight with, but the enemy is not going to see you first and you can react to the situation accordingly. And this is exactly how you need to play around your teammates that just aren't pulling their weight or just losing their gunfights for some reason. Use them to help you win more gunfights. And we see HIKO do the exact same thing here in a much more exaggerated way that shows us exactly how he wants to play these rounds. Now, constantly throughout this round, HIKO follows his teammates and repositions himself to his preferred angle playing off of his teammates, and it completely wins the round for them, because he takes himself out of the bad situations and instead plays off of his teammates who are in those bad situations instead. Now we see HIKO start to enter the site right behind the sofa, but as the push progresses, we see HIKO post on the right side of site. And this is one thing that kills so many pushes. Someone has to post on that angle and be ready for the peek, so HIKO just lets his Sova do his thing while he plays his off angle. But immediately after Sova dies, HIKO realizes he's now the man in front. So, immediately HIKO swaps to play the off angle for the Cypher, making sure that he's going to be the second person seen, and it ends up getting HIKO a second kill in the round. But we notice, just like before, that Cypher dies here, and HIKO does the exact same thing for the Raze, stopping, slowing down. That way the Raze can get in front, and eventually HIKO can just push in right behind her and off to the side so he makes sure that they take the first contract and he can finish out the round. Now, they don't manage to find the Omen when they're pushing the site, but the intentions are still obvious, and although people complain about baiting, Whenever you're doing it properly, it's really just a safer way to trade out for your teammates and make sure that they don't die in vain whenever you can just trade out their kill or help them pick up the kill in the first place and save their life. And next up, I wanted to talk about peeking off of your teammate's contact, because this is something that I don't see many players doing until you get to high immortal level, but it's such an easy concept and we see top tier players and pros use it in every single round. Now, this is a very easy round to see exactly what's going on and exactly what HIKO wants from this round. HIKO gets on site, plants the bomb while telling the Cypher to cover for him, and tries to back out of the site so he's not in the danger position of sitting on site holding two angles, and he immediately sets himself up to where the Killjoy will see the Cypher before he sees HIKO. This makes HIKO's job so much easier because he's constantly reading the minimap, jiggling very safe angles, and taking in all of the information that he can because he doesn't have to worry about the initial engagement. But as soon as they realize that the Cypher is about to make contact, then HIKO is looking for an angle, and as soon as shots start being fired, HIKO has a window of opportunity to take out the Killjoy before she's able to turn and shoot at him. Now, this concept goes for taking sites, retaking a site, or defending a plant. You should always be giving your teammates room to play, but you should also always be ready to swing whenever you hear those shots. And this seems very simple, but there's really a high skill cap for how well you can pull this off, and this next clip shows exactly that. So in this clip we have HIKO playing Sage, pushing up sewers into A site on bind. And as he goes to enter the site, we see what we've seen HIKO do so many times, peek as soon as the brimstone starts to clear his path, so he can be the second man and support his entry. Now HIKO finishes off the kill and swings with his teammates behind the box to support them for that kill as well, and this is where it gets really interesting. HIKO hears an enemy drop out of heaven, and being on the site by himself, he tells his team and waits a second before peeking. This lets his team start peeking, the jet from long specifically, and the Phoenix's full attention is on that jet that's starting to peek long as a result of the call, allowing HIKO to pick up the kill with virtually no resistance. And the way he peeks the Killjoy later is the icing on the cake. As HIKO goes out for the plant, we hear the Cypher call out, "I'm pretty sure he's behind your wall." And we can visibly see here HIKO's eyes go up to the minimap, and as soon as he noticed that Cypher is jiggling in the corner and facing as if he's about to peek, HIKO drops the plant and swings at the exact same time his Cypher does. Now, unfortunately, the Killjoy positioned well to where the wall was in the way of the Cypher, but we can see in the frame right after Killjoy dies that Cypher is peeking and shooting the wall, applying pressure. And this kind of game sense and team awareness is what we should all be looking to have with our teammates. Start by picking out places where you can swing off of their contact, and eventually get to the point where you can predict your teammates' picks and read the minimap to let you peek at the exact same time. And honestly, with how effortlessly HIKO makes it look when he's playing off of his teammates, it's no wonder he has 4 accounts in Radiant now. And finally, and arguably the most important aspect of playing around your teammates, is to tell them exactly what to do or exactly what you need from them. Now, I know this isn't always possible because it seems like some people you play with just don't have headphones at all, but in an online game you can't expect random teammates to be on the same page as you, and telling them what you need will help you win a ton more fights because you can start to play around your team properly. Even if it's as simple as something we see HIKO doing in this round. Here we have HIKO playing Sage in mid on Haven, and the round starts to get really hectic with enemies trying to retake the B site and flanking from mid. And we hear HIKO start calling what he needs as soon as the round gets to a point where HIKO can't play the way he wants.
Okay. Can you peek for me?
So because HIKO and Brimstone are backed into a corner, if they both get peeked, they can easily die one by one without being able to trade anyone out. And HIKO can't utilize his res as a stage because of how safe the angle is. So instead, HIKO acts proactively and tells the Brimstone to swing back out there, and HIKO goes back to playing exactly how he likes to. And that is exactly what you should be doing in your games. You're not always going to be able to perform well with every team, but if you have a strategy or a playstyle that works for you, you're doing your team a favor by telling them what you need to be successful, instead of just trying to play a different style that isn't going to work out and you end up just not being very proactive in any of the rounds. And honestly, when it comes down to it, there's really nothing wrong with micromanaging as much as he actually does here, because most people need some sort of direction whenever they're playing, and HIKO tells everyone in his team exactly what he wants them to be doing in this round so they can be successful in the round. Now here HIKO tells Phoenix to slow down and let them peek first because there were 2 people swinging the right side of sight, and there's really no reason for Phoenix to be peeking alone on the left side.
You're alone, Phoenix? Maybe let us take our first contact?
And immediately after HIKO gets the plant down, he finds a teammate to play off of for the post plant, while the Phoenix does a different version of what HIKO told him exactly not to do earlier, peek alone and die. But then we get to the comms that HIKO gives to Cypher to make this round go smoothly in a 3 versus 2. And with that, HIKO and Brimstone end up with a beautiful crossfire on the Killjoy as she approaches the bomb to defuse, and Cypher checked the flank so they had nothing to worry about except closing out the round. And ultimately, this is exactly what we should be doing in our games. Tell our teams what we need to be successful, no matter how big or small it is. The worst they can do is not listen. But if we can't get through to them or just can't seem to find a way to communicate to help them be effective, just play your teammates off angle and swing off of their contact. Because when a teammate isn't performing, support that teammate so you can take on less risk while getting into even more duels and making that teammate's life have a meaning. And remember, if you want to improve, win more gunfights, and get the rank you've always wanted, then check out SkillCapped.com. The link is in the description below. But ultimately, I want to know what the biggest problem is that you face when you're playing with teammates, so be sure to let me know in the comments down below. And make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn those notification bells on, because we here at SkillCapped have a ton of content coming your way that you're going to want to stay up to date with so you can stay ahead of the pack and ahead of the curve. As always, I want to thank you for watching and spending this little bit of your day with us, and I'm Notorious Dub, signing off.